Okay, this is a video about Willowherb identification, and this one here is almost a classic hoary Willowherb. It's hairy, and you can see the leaves are hairy, the stems are hairy, but one thing is wrong about this Willowherb. Its flower is enormous, maybe 2 centimeters across, which is far too big for this species. The flower diameter is supposed to be 12 centimeters, and this greatly exceeds that. So that's hoary Willowherb, hairy, about 1/2 meter tall. And here are some more open flowers of this species. You can see that the stigma has 4 lobes. This Willowherb is probably a pink flowered American Willowherb. The flowers on this one seem to open pink. Apologies for the noise, there always seems to be a lot of noise on these videos, but this I think is American Willowherb pink form. And here's another Willowherb with hairy stems and partly hairy leaves, and it looks like a hoary Willowherb, but it's quite different from the one that we just looked at, and the flowers are much smaller, but they have the same pink colour and are grouped together at the top of the plant in a similar way. And here's another small hairy plant. I don't think this is hoary Willowherb. I think this may be a hoary Willowherb hybrid. That's my best bet on this one. I think this one is square stalked Willowherb. It does seem to have an angled stem in 4 different angles. So this is my best bet at a square stemmed Willowherb. Now this one has obviously been in flower a much longer. The fruit pods are long, and the leaves are really quite rounded at the base and few and far between. So my view on this plant is it's a normal broad-leaved Willowherb. Here's an absolutely tiny plant with really small flowers. Once again, I would say, because the leaves are running up and down the stem, that this is a short fruited Willowherb. And yet another example of a hoary Willowherb. I would say is fairly standard shape of the flower, but the flower being larger than usual again. The stem hairy and the leaves hairy. This plant is about 80 centimeters tall. Hoary Willowherb. Another plant, classic plant of broad-leaved Willowherb. Not so many leaves on the stem, the plant a bit straggly. Broad-leaved Willowherb. Another plant with an angled, possibly square angled stem. I would say that this is a square stemmed Willowherb, and the flowers are opening pink, so it's unlikely to be an American Willowherb. And here's what I think is a really beautiful plant. You can see the flowers open white and then they close, they're pink. This is a classic American Willowherb. It's unlikely to be white milk flower Willowherb. Here's one I'm fairly uncertain about. I think it could be another square stemmed Willowherb, but the flowers are quite large for this, so I'm not sure about this one. And these plants with the very narrow leaves, are, I'm pretty sure, square stemmed willow herbs. The stems aren't round in any way at all, they have ridges on them. This plant is a bit later in opening, so that's square stemmed willow herb. Right, these are plants that I've grown myself, having collected them from the wild, and I know from the description that because the leaves run up and down the stem on these plants, that this is small short fruited willow herb. And the interesting thing about this plant is that the upper flowers have been attacked by some insect, so the flowers haven't opened properly, and that seems to be happening on a lot of these short fruited willow herbs. And finally, just leaning over the fence, we've got another white flowered willow herb that is almost certainly American willow herb, and because the flowers are in the shade, they haven't opened yet, so you have to wait for the sun to shine on these flowers for them to open fully. Apologies for the noise in some part of this video. As you can see, it's been filmed around city streets where there's been busy traffic on this very hot Sunday afternoon. Okay, so this is the Willowherb Identifier. If you like this video, please like and subscribe, and thank you for watching.